Here we are at San Francisco's Fisherman's Wharf. My name's Diver Duck. This is where I come to the office every day. I fish commercially out of here. We're going to show you how we catch the fish, and we're going to get you into Diver Duck's kitchen. Hey, what's for dinner? Fresh fish is for dinner. My name's Larry Collins, but from now on, we'll just call me the Duck. Fortunately, I'm lucky enough to have my lovely wife, Barbara Emily, who we call Bunky. Everybody in this business has a nickname. Everybody has a nickname. So it's the Bunky and the Duck, again, picking crab meat. And every nickname has a story, and we don't have enough time to tell you the story. I'm a commercial fisherman. Believe it or not, this is a cooking show. Come on in there, John. Let's go under the bridge here. Give you a report in an hour here.
Cool, Ducky, cool. Won't be listening for you.
Sure is a beautiful place to work out in the Pacific Ocean. I feel really blessed a lot of days when you're out there and you have nice weather and good catches. We're about 4 hours away from my strings of Dungeness crab pots. Once we pull those pots, we're going to bring in a load of Dungeness crab that we're going to take into my kitchen, where I'm going to show you some crab magic. Well, I was born in the Bronx, Riverside, New York. Grew up back in Pennsylvania. My family had a construction company, and at an early age I went to work for Grandpa at the construction company. And when I used to live back in Pennsylvania, I used to build log houses with antique tools. I used to live right in these two rooms here when I was 19 years old back in Delmont, Pennsylvania. So anyway, that's a great plate to put your crab cakes on. I was a contractor here in California for 10 years before I went sports fishing. On my days off, I used to like to get down to the Muni Pier, the public pier down there, and fish for whatever we could catch off the end of that. Well, that ultimately led for us going out on a party boat out the Golden Gate Bridge. Once I went sports fishing, I had the bug. I noticed these other boats out there with sticks out and guys on the back deck, and I realized that you could do this commercially and for a living. I somehow talked my wife into buying a boat, and we went and did that. Now, we didn't know anything about fishing or the fishing business. We knew absolutely nothing about navigation, about fishing, about anything at all. But fortunately, we made some friends in the fleet that held our hands for those first 4 or 5 tough years and taught us how to fish, and now we're able to do it for a living. Kind of like gold mining. Some days you really hit the fish, and when you hit the fish, there's nothing like it. It's all about catching, it's all about cooking, big boys. We are very, very excited. Oh yeah, drop another trap there, Brent. The crab pots are laid out in individual strings. We put about 45 pots per string, and I have about 200 traps, so I have 4 different strings. The really fun part is you pull up a trap and it's just loaded with crab. There's a door on either side that's got triggers, so when the crab walks in there, he can't walk back out. That's a one-way ticket to Diver Duck's kitchen. Yeah, I set my crab gear in the same spot every year. I have every year now for 14 years.
Now we're catching.
You harvest the fish at a rate where the population of the fish can sustain itself. You don't get greedy and wipe them out. You harvest them at a sustainable level. You got to look at every crab. You got to decide which ones are male, which ones are female, which is not hard to see. And then you have to measure the males and make sure they're legal. Well, we've been out here all day, and there's more crab pots to pick up, but I'm ready to go home and start cooking. Sometimes the tide's coming out that gate right there, 5.5 knots, and my boat only makes 7.5 knots, so that means I'm only going in at 2 knots. You gotta have a little bit of patience. When you go to the store and you buy fish, think about the men and women on these little boats that go out to give you tonight's dinner. Commercial fishing is an extremely difficult job. It's a lot of hours, it's dangerous, it's dirty, but I love it.
In ports from Mexico to Canada, fishermen are preparing to give up a way of life.
It's gone down to nearly nothing. I imagine there's only 10 boats that still fish salmon out of here.
Every fishing boat is a small family business.
Barbara and Larry head out to the ocean. They won't return until Friday night. And after 15 years of this grueling work, there is still an unmistakable excitement when a fish is hooked.
Oh, big fat hog, man. Take your time.
7's Deborah Villalone is in Millbrae tonight, where hearings are just about to begin. Deborah?
That's right. Very shortly, the Pacific Fisheries Management Council will begin hearing testimony on the salmon shortage.
Mountain water is diverted to Central Valley farmland, leaving less for salmon to spawn in. And irrigation pumps grind up millions more salmon.
It's welfare for the rich. Farmers got their water. They continued to get their water through the entire 6 years of the drought. And we just are going quickly out of business.
When you go into a restaurant and you see salmon on the menu, the first question that comes to your mind should be, is that a wild fish or is that a farm fish? And if it's a farm fish, you should reject it out of hand, because it's not good for you and it's not good for the environment. Seafood special. These are wild animals. Wild animals that they weren't grown in a feedlot. They grew up out there in the wild ocean, eating wild food, and that makes them taste that much more special. What? There's no leaves on the buckeye tree? It must be wintertime. Wintertime, that's Dungeness crab season. We caught them, now we're gonna go cook them. Come on with me. Now, one thing about these crustaceans is they have a very limited nerve network. So this really doesn't hurt these crabs at all, and they really don't mind, as you can see here. Well, this one maybe is minding a little bit. There we go. Now we'll cook these for 20 minutes and then we'll get them cold fast. Okay, time's up. It rang, we heard it, you didn't. Believe me, it rang. 20 minutes, full boil. Oh, you see now, we've had the mayonnaise in there, we've had the crackers in there, and we still haven't even measured out our crab. So the technique would be the dry things first, then the wet things. That's a little tip that my grandma taught me, but I obviously didn't learn it. Next thing I'm going to do is put this all together. So, whoop, down boy, get in there, ho! It's really the main thing about cooking, is if you get the best ingredients you can get, then your food is going to taste better than your neighbor's. And believe me, that'll make girls like you, which is important to commercial fishermen. The last thing you pick is those two knuckles there.
Yeah. I just before.
Well, you just shot a piece of crab meat right into my hair.
I'm so sorry.
See it? If you have a bald spot like I do, that could be a good thing, crab meat in your hair. You know, I need to talk about one other thing with you. You know, when you're standing on the back of the boat and you've got the bait there and you got the seagulls working all around you, and there's this old saying about when the seagulls poop on your head, it's good luck. I want to tell you something. It's not good luck. You're standing there with seagull poop on your head, it's not good luck. Okay, let's pick these crabs, get on to the next part here. I'm just going to put the crackers in here, crush them. It'll take me a few minutes here. It's very boring, so we'll get right back to you. Okay, so. We're going to make crab cakes. Okay, we're going to put 2 full cups in here. Now, since I'm a crabber and I like a lot of crab in mine, I'm going to push it down here. Not really packing it in, but I'm going to push it down so I make sure I have really 2 full cups of crab meat in here. You can see I've got it really kind of packed down in there. Now we're going to cook the crab cakes. We're going to drop them in this hot oil. This oil's very hot, 375 degrees. It's just starting to smoke a little bit. So you turn it down a little bit and you start plopping the cakes in here. And watch you don't burn yourself because this oil is very hot.